Hello and welcome back for part 3 of the Mario Kart tournament here on the Ice Cream channel.
Yeah.
So, first off, if you haven't seen Group A and Group B yet, make sure to check those out because
Spoiler alert!
yeah, we will be spoiling those in a minute. So make sure you go check them out, then come back here. So what we're going to do is bring up the tables now. So as you can see, Dan, who qualified from Group A, is taking on Jamie, who qualified from Group B.
In the groups, coming second was okay because it means you got to this point, but from now there is nothing for second place. Only the winner advances to the final, and there's not a lot between them. Obviously, the points from the tables are quite close, so it's going to be interesting to see how things go.
I really can't call it. So without further ado, let's see how they get on.
Dan will pick the track. Then in the next race, as we're starting in the first race now, Dan's just picked the track there. In the next race, Jamie will get to pick the track. Then it'll go back to Dan, who will get to pick a track, and then back to Jamie again. So they'll have 4 games. Whoever has the highest tally of points at the end of the 4 games is the winner. If it's a tie...
well, if it's a tie, then we will have a 5th race, and that will be played on the infamous Rainbow Road. So... that will be an entertaining one, to be honest. Plenty of instances to, opportunities, should we say, to fall off that. So.
And it's interesting as well, because someone could throw in a curveball then. So say if someone takes an early lead, they could throw in Rainbow Road as one of their choices in their second round of games. So they could do that to just completely upset the apple cart. Is that the right phrase?
I think that's a thing.
Yes, we'll go with that.
Let's say upset the Mario Kart in this instance.
Hey! 0 week, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button right now for more. Mediocre pudding. Yay! That was good to be there. I set you up for that.
So we've got a 3rd and 5th placement so far here. It's Dan on the left, isn't it? Yeah.
So yeah, Dan is Toad and Jamie is Koopa Troopa once again. Both choosing small. Is it lightweight?
Yeah, lightweight characters. So what you will tend to find with that is that they'll have better acceleration, I believe, and maybe not quite as good top speed.
What's interesting though is they're both kind of like jostling, is the word, for position.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, it's close again.
Jamie just released the red shell then, which took out an AI character, but if it held that for just a second longer, that would have hit Dan. They both take a position up the field, and Dan is now in first, Jamie's in second. Things are very close, but Jamie just got himself... What are the boxes called?
I don't know the technical name for it. I guess just item boxes.
Well, Dan got an item box and Jamie didn't. But Jamie didn't pay the price, but he did then as the red shell hits him. And Dan, for the first time in the race now, gets a little bit of space as he pulls out in first.
Absolutely. Definitely what I would say to Jamie at this point is he needs to take advantage of the items then, because one thing about being in first is it's much, obviously, more difficult to be offensive, if you see what I mean. Yeah. You have to just hope that you're not going to get pelted with red shells.
Which is exactly what happened to Dan just a second ago. He's now in third as James in second. And Dan gets flattened again. So Dan's in fourth, James in third, into second.
They're sort of always remaining close to each other, regardless of how powerful down they sort of...
Oh, this is now Jamie's turn to get a little bit of a gap. So he's in first, whereas Dan's dropped down to fifth. As we hit the start of lap 3, Jamie is in the lead by a considerable lead at this point. You've got to think, if Jamie does get hit by something now, he's got a little bit of a gap where he can recover himself at least once.
Absolutely, yeah. Dan sort of had a bit of a boost in that. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but there's a phenomena in this called... I've forgotten the word for it now.
That's a good name for
That's a really good name for it. My brain's gone blank. But what do you call it? It's slipstreaming.
Yes.
When you go behind a vehicle, and basically, if you keep behind an opponent, you have to be very close to their car. For a few seconds, you'll start seeing these lines appear, like speed lines almost, and then you'll get a speed boost. It's quite a decent speed boost.
This is interesting. Dan's just got a start, and he's just catching up to Jamie. He's literally a bend or two behind him now, so this could be tense as Jamie gets hit by a shell. He has a red shell himself.
Oh,
so
he's getting close.
But he let his red shell go. I thought he was going to hold that just in case he needed to fight off a final attack, but that's going to be it. Jamie takes second place. Dan still trailing along, back in sixth.
Still going to be important.
And into seventh place, just at the finish line. Was that Bowser? It's one of the Morton.
Roy.
There you go.
Well, Morton. Sorry, yeah, Roy's in front of him. So I think actually what that Morton character got there was a slipstream effect that I was mentioning earlier. He was behind Dan, and that's how he managed to just overtake him at the end. But yeah, so 12 points for Jamie and 6 points for Dan. All it takes is for the reverse to happen in the next race, of course, and we're back to square one again. So yeah, feel free to carry on, guys, and we'll see what happens next.
Well, that should mean that Dan gets some better items to start at this race then, because naturally, due to the positions that they finished in after the last race, Dan starts in, was it 7th, whilst Jamie's in 2nd?
Yeah, so yeah, not quite pole position for Jamie,
So
but close.
pretty much directly behind Jamie there, so if he gets a boost. Oh, and he didn't.
He's had a false start there. He's tried too hard to get the boost. That's sometimes what happens. But all to play for, and I think this is the 3rd time in this tournament we've actually seen this course as well. It's quite a popular course.
Dan was looking for a big sort of spurt there, but went a little bit too soon.
Absolutely, and it's worth bearing in mind as well. I mean, they're easy to overlook, but coins in this game. You can see how many coins they have in the bottom left-hand side of each respective screen. The difference between having 10 coins, which is the maximum you can have, and 0, is quite significant in terms of speed. So basically, the more coins you have, the more speed.
I had no idea that that was actually a thing.
Yeah,
so that's quite useful for Dan at this point. Dan has 9 coins, up to 10,
Yeah,
so he's hit the
now,
maximum.
so he should be just a little bit faster. I say substantial. It's not massive, but it does make a difference. And every time you get a coin as well, actually a big coin gives you a tiny speed boost as well. It seems to be working for Dan, that coin thing, because he has moved up.
And he's just smashed Jamie on the way past, taking himself to 3rd place, whilst the both gets squink. There we go.
Yep, both players have been inked. If you use the little boost ramp whilst you've got the ink on your face, then it will be removed. So it's obviously a little strategy that you use as well.
Interestingly, is on one of the turns after the starting bit, you drive over a bridge. Neither of these players seem to know that there's an inside ramp, which is something that Tom used in the last video. So Tom Bambaro was obviously a viewer of the channel. If you watch anything we do on Twitch, he was invited to take part in the last tournament, and he used that quite a lot in this match. These guys clearly aren't aware that that is an avenue, but at this point, Dan doesn't necessarily need it. He's got 10 points and 10 coins, should I say, and a bit of a lead on 2nd place, while Jamie, should I say, drops down to 4th.
Absolutely, and
5th.
as we were mentioning earlier about the sort of alternate routes, the thing with Mario Kart is usually tends to be, of course, a risk-reward element as well. So the faster routes tend to be more difficult, or sometimes you'll need a mushroom boost in order to make it viable. So I guess it also just depends on whether they want to risk it or not. But yeah, again, Dan's not gone that way.
He had the clear route in front of him, but he didn't take it.
He did.
See if Jamie takes it this time. You know he's gone over the bridge himself as well.
But there's quite a few different routes in this map. Track, should I
The
say.
thing is, there's a very big gap between 1st and 5th now. So Dan's coming around the corner. Jamie's not even hit the corner before that one. So unless something hits Dan at this point, Jamie has a boost though, but hits a banana pit. You've got to think that's got to be 1st. So we could be looking at 1st and 7th in this race again. As
We could.
or was it 2nd?
It was 2nd and 7th, wasn't it? I think, yeah. Who knows? I mean, even at this stage, as Dan's approaching the finishing line, you never know what can happen.
Has a red shell just in case.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say that Dan's looking to finish 1st here, but maybe Jamie could get a few places still. He's got a blue shell. He's not going
Just going to not get there in time.
Yeah, just going to miss out on Dan, so it should automatically home into the person who was then in 1st. So Jamie's got 5th there.
So that
Okay.
should close things down then, because obviously Jamie finishes a couple of places higher, but Dan's got the points, so just 1 point between it.
Ooh. Yeah, this is going to be a tight semi-final, I think. 21 and 20 points.
So clearly I've woken the beast in Dan telling him that he can win a race. Someone needed to say that to him before.
Well done, mate.
Absolutely.
You know my opponent.
Look at the concentration on the faces. Dan's not even looking at the camera. Dan's looking at his phone. That's how chilled out he is. He's like one of those Premiership footballers that sets off
Overconfidence,
with
that's
a
what it
man
is.
bag at the coach. Whereas Jamie's just all business.
Maybe he's just texting someone saying
He's
about
just
to win
texting me
Mario
saying,
Kart
"Look
Cup.
now."
Okay, so this is another one we've seen a few times now. Sunshine Airport.
So we're in an airport. Who's going to be flying business class and who's going to be,
Second class.
whatever's not business?
Yeah. Time will tell. But I think they both mean business as they go around the first corner, pretty close to one another here. Now, these little ramps that they're jumping over as well, they both successfully managed to get a little speed boost. as they jumped up, and that's not something that just happens automatically. They actually have to press the jump button just as they're leaving ramps. And you'll see just down the screen now that little sort of where they turn around to the camera and go, whatever.
So can you just repeat that for the video? They turn around, to the camera and
they
say,
turn around and go, whee! Let's go! Let's go! So yeah, I mean that's these little extra things you can do to get those speed boosts are really important.
Always a blue shell, and boom, that's got to be Dan in first place.
Yeah.
And has like, see, this has been a very, Dan's had the rub of the green in this. He's got all 8 of those items around him, whilst Jamie's been hit by at least 2 different things. And Dan had a blue shell as well. So.
I know, and if I were Jamie, I wouldn't want to overtake Dan at the moment because he's got quite an arsenal.
He still has a character between him and Jamie has 3 bananas, getting rid of those because obviously he needs to make an assault on the cars in front of him, so very wise decision there.
Absolutely. And Dan's still keeping hold of these items, and they're not the easiest to use. Basically, whatever's the most in front of you when you hit the item button will be what's activated, so it requires a bit of timing.
And once again, Jamie's getting pummeled by the AI characters while Dan has a very easy ride of it, chilling out in front with all of the items in it.
Absolutely. Yeah, this could be... I'm getting mixed up now. Which way round was it? The first race or the second race where Dan was...
Dan lost the first, so this is Dan's race, so he's looking to upset the curse and uses one of his items but takes himself out as he crashes into
problem with holding onto that bomb.
But he gets a start and has a mushroom, so the gap that he lost he instantly takes back.
Now this really all depends on items again for Jamie, I would have to say. You got something like a bullet bill.
Good driving there from Jamie, brings him up to 3rd place, and he spins 3 mushrooms, which could help him regain some of that lost ground.
Absolutely. There's not too many straights to sort of use a mushroom on in this course. Maybe the bit where you're sort of floating down towards the end is the good moment.
Although he got the AI characters took any of the boxes away from them, so he has nothing to attack. Of course, and he has a red shell behind him.
Oh, is it coming? Oh, that's an unfortunate place to get.
Unfortunate.
I'm sorry, Jamie. To put it lightly.
I have been absolutely raided on this game.
That is exactly how it's gone. Dan's pretty much had a free pass in this game, and just as we say that,
he's not going to take first, I don't think. He's not going to take
but
second.
Jamie has 3 mushrooms.
He's
He
not
could
gonna
fly
take
past him
third.
here. He's going to do it. He's taking it past him. And he takes the win! Dan had an absolute free ride through that race, but Jamie comes back and makes it all square from the last race. That means that we aren't going to have a playoff.
That's right, yeah, there's going to be a winner determined in this next race, which is going to be chosen by Jamie. Wow, 30 points each. This is tense.
Interesting, is this tactics? Did Jamie win on Bike Arena in the previous video?
Well,
I can't quite remember that.
Good point, I'm not even sure. I think he did alright.
I think I did alright. I can't recall if I won.
But winner takes all in this, so we were going to have a playoff if there was a tie, but as both players are on 30 points going into the last race, that means that there will be a difference in points. Nobody can finish level with anyone else, so literally winner takes all.
Yeah, and Dan's got off to the best start so far. Although maybe he doesn't want to be in first place after what happened in the race.
Could this be a case of Jamie biding his time as Dan's doing all sorts of spinny jump flips in the air? Is that just a general animation thing, or does he have to make him do that?
Yeah, this is those little extra boosts I was mentioning earlier. So if you're pressing the jump button just as you leave the ramp, you'll get that extra little boost where the player turns around and goes, whee! Something like that.
The player turns and does what again, sorry?
Whee!
Oh, Jamie's in second, Dan's just ahead of him, but Jamie has a red shell, so if Jamie can close that gap on first place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
the red shell's coming.
And
no,
it still gets him.
I'm not sure whether that was the same red shell or a different one. Yeah, I mean, there are certain areas maybe where if you get a red shell coming at you, you can sort of swerve behind an object and have the red shell hit that instead. There are certain ways.
Jamie's got a green shell whilst Dan has 3, so it'll be interesting to see if any of those shells connect with Jamie in first place now. Dan with a miraculous Tony Hawk's-esque jump flip spin thing in the air, but Jamie's still unfazed. Dan closing the gap though. Jamie goes off the line,
grass for a bit then.
both get struck by
Look how
lightning.
close they are now.
As the green shells are still terrorising both players on the field.
I mean, this is now going into the third and final lap in what is quite a short course as well.
Oh, that's closing the gap on the Koopa Trooper.
Oh, he jumps over.
And they both get coins, so neither of them get the opportunity to take each other out. But there's 3 shells and there's a
Dan goes
mushroom in the
grass.
middle of the field, but both avoid.
Oh no, Dan manages to get a boost, but it's not necessarily in the right place. So he's actually done himself a disfavour there.
A disfavour or a disservice.
One of them two. Let me know in the.
But Dan has 3 red shells, which is clearly going to take the effect. And another. Oh.
Why did it?
I think, Dan, that you must have been just being too far ahead of Jamie at the time. You just passed him before he used it.
Oh, this
is going to be so tight.
Here. Coins, and that's it.
Come on!
This has surely got to be the end of it. As
everybody's
Dan
on it.
finishes in first, Jamie finishes in second. So there we have it.
Wow. That was a very, very close game.
Ice cream for the winner. Yay! And do you know what? Commemorative ice cream for the loser. Yay!
Good throwing and catching there. That's probably the most impressive thing I've seen all,
That was about in semi-final.
all cup. Wow, so 45 points we can confirm for Dan, 42 for Jamie. In fact, guys, if you hit A and hit view results, we will see a little trophy animation come up just to make Dan feel extra special. There we go. He's won the trophy there. So congratulations to Dan. You have made it to the final. How do you feel?
Ecstatic. Very happy.
Correct.
Just thought Craig beats Jack in the other semi.
So presumably because you feel that Craig is the underdog in this.
No, just to annoy Jack.
Okay. Good
I'm not
answer.
bothered
Good
with
answer.
There you go. Team camaraderie and team spirit there from Dan.
Absolutely.
So there you go, 1 finalist in the bag. Congratulations to Dan, who got through with 45 points versus 42 from Jamie. Incredibly close. Just 1 pole position is the difference. But that's what it is. That's what it is. That is the Mario Kart Cup. And unfortunately, Jamie, you get nothing for second place at this level. So goodbye.
Bye.
And for Dan, we will see you in the final, which is not the next video, but the one after, because the next video is semi-final 2. And if you want to get involved and you want to see that video, then make sure you subscribe to the channel now, turn your notifications on so you get notified when we go live. And if you've liked what you've seen, because clearly you have, make sure you give the channel a big L. Give an L to a like, not a loser, a like.
Not a loser, or Luigi. Or
a like to the video. And until next time, I've been Graham /Luigi, Luke and
I've
Mario.
been Luke and /Mario. Goodbye.